just give yourself a few moments now to arrive onto your mat. Place one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly, just taking this time just to arrive into the present moment. If it feels welcoming for you, close down your eyes. And I want you just to breathe into your hands. So inhale and expand your breath into your chest, into your belly. Exhale, you're just softening out. Notice perhaps any tension in the breath, any resistance in the breath. Using this time to breathe into your body. Softening your jaw, softening the space between the eyebrows. And then you're going to slowly slide your hands beside you onto the ribs. Maybe find a little space between those ribs. And then once again, you're just going to inhale and expand your breath into the sides of your waist, into the sides of the ribs. Inhaling the breath from side to side. And then slide one hand behind your back and one hand back onto your chest. Once again, I want you to expand your breath into your hands and really feel yourself fill with air. Breathing into the body from front to back. Slowly go ahead and release your hands. Let your hands rest onto your lap and just take a moment here. And I want you to connect to that three-dimensional breath. So as you inhale, you're expanding your breath from top to bottom, side to side, and front to back. Just feel that breath really just arriving into this present moment. And then you're just going to slowly allow your eyes to flutter open. Bring your hands to your heart space. And we'll open with the sound and with the vibration of Om. So take a full breath into your body. Exhale it out through the mouth. We'll inhale for Om. Slowly allow your eyes to flutter open. Let your eyes open. And then slowly just expand your hands forward, coming into a really gentle release for your hips. Keep your arms nice and active here if that feels good. And maybe just take a moment just kind of swaying a little bit back and forth, side to side. And then walk your hands back up. And as you inhale, reach your arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, right hand to the right side. Left arm reaches up and over. And just pause there and take a few deep breaths. Just really working with this enhancement of the breath, tapping into that lung capacity. before we drop into our practice. Side bend in the opposite direction. Slowly starting to build our practice today. Inhale, reach back up, take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Now grab your tennis ball or your therapy ball and come on up to stand. We're going to take a moment here in the feet. And I'm just going to adjust my computer so that you can see my feet a little bit better. So when we're working with the myofascial release, it's really important that you're always breathing and that you're not going to create any more tension in the body. So anything that feels sharp, shooting, or painful, I want you to avoid and work around that space. So when you're ready, we're going to start with that right foot, and I'm going to just adjust my computer so that you can just really see my feet here. So we're going to start with the right foot, and you're going to take your right foot and you're going to step your right heel onto the myofascial ball. So you're just going to step in and step out, and step in and step out. And then I want you to step in and find an amount of pressure that feels tolerable for you. Hold that pressure, and then you're just going to slowly start to just kind of rock your heel from side to side, almost like you're kind of digging the myofascial ball into the floor. Rock side to side. You might even feel a little crunchy today. It's all normal. And then I'm going to have you just work your way now to the ball of your foot. So now you're on the ball of your foot, right underneath kind of like the knuckle of your toes. So if you look down, you might even see the knuckles starting to kind of pop up a little bit. And then see if you can kind of wrap your toes over the myofascial ball as if you were going to like grip the ball off the ground. You might notice a little bit of cramping at the top of the foot. And then you're going to keep that if it feels okay and start to rock from side to side. Of course, if the wrapping doesn't feel okay, just keep your feet natural and you're just rocking side to side. And this is going to really enhance that mobility into the joint. Keep rocking side to side. And then you're going to just slowly start to now roll from the ball of your foot towards your heel, ball of the foot towards your heel, ball of the foot towards here. So we're rolling in the direction of the heart. Notice sensation throughout the arch of the foot. And you're kind of just exploring all over the arch of the foot here. Pick one interesting spot. That's not the painful one. Pick an interesting spot to land on, and then see if you can just take a couple breaths there. Nice, deep breaths, and see if you can almost just allow that foot to sink into the ground. So really getting a nice release into the tissues of the foot. I promise you won't be staring at my feet the whole time. And then you're going to slowly come out of that, and then you're going to start to just scribble on the foot. So this is a really, really light, superficial touch. In fact, there's hardly any pressure at all onto the bottom of the foot, but this is really good for kind of enhancing circulation and proprioception, which is your understanding of where your body is in space. It enhances and stimulates all the little nerve endings here at the bottom of the foot, increases lymph, so your body's capacity to heal. So nice light scribbles here on that right foot, really, really light, superficial, just scribbling all over. And then I want you to step off your tool and come to stand. And I want you just to take a moment now just to notice your footprint into the floor. Notice if you feel any difference from the right foot to the left. Now, one of my favorite ways to really work with this release is to bring movement into the body. So we'll experience this in our practice today. Take a full breath in and an exhale out. And then you're going to switch to your left foot. So you're going to start with that left heel, and you're going to step in and step out. Facebook world, once again, staring at my feet. Sorry about that. You'll see my face shortly. And you're stepping in and you're stepping out, and then you're going to pause there and keep that pressure and start to rock from side to side. So you're just kind of going against all this tissue in the heel of the foot. And then come to the ball of your foot. If you can, let that heel drop to the floor. Curl your toes over the myofascial ball if that feels accessible. And you'll know you're in the right spot. If you look down, you can kind of see the knuckles of the foot popping up. And then you're going to start to now rock across the foot side to side. Really good for mobilizing the toes. Enhancing mobility in the feet. Super important, as you can imagine. Not only in our asana practice, but in our daily life. And then you're going to pause there. And now I want you to roll from the ball of your foot towards your heel. Ball of your foot towards your heel. So releasing the feet is probably something that I do on a daily basis. Not because I need to, but because it's made such a difference, right? I try to work with the myofascial release not as a when I'm feeling symptoms, right? When I'm feeling discomfort or pain, I use it on a daily basis because that's when change actually really occurs in the body, is when we can do a little bit every day over time. That's when we can create change and release that will last within our tissues. So I do this kind of like a daily habit. Like brushing my teeth. I roll my feet. Enhances blood flow and circulation, but it also releases any tension throughout my body, just through the feet. So it's pretty cool. And then I want you to find one of those interesting spots today, not the most painful, but it might just feel a little interesting. You're going to hold that pressure, and then I want you to just take a couple deep breaths. And then you're going to come off of that pressure, second side scribble. Start to just scribble all over the bottom of the foot, really waking up the surface area of the foot and all the little nerves and sensory nerves that are responding on a daily, moment-to-moment basis. So giving these guys a chance to really just enhance their awareness. But it also connects you on a deeper level into your body. We call that interoception. Little scribbles here. And then I just want you to scribble on your right foot one more time. Just waking it up. Once more on that left foot. And once more on the right. Now, from here, you can set your myofascial ball out of the way. Hello, world, I'm back. And then I want you to come back to your mat, and I want you just to take a moment here, spread your toes, and notice your footprint. So notice that enhanced sensory perception here in the feet. Maybe even all the way through the legs. You might notice sensation, blood flow, warmth. Even if you look at your feet, they might have changed colors slightly. Notice the way the toes can spread now. The arches can lift. And then I want you to take a deep breath in and an exhale out. On your next inhale, go ahead and reach your arms straight up overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to forward fold, bring your hands towards the floor. Now, in Uttanasana, I want you also just to take a moment just to notice. Grab opposite elbows and let your head just get nice and heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then you're going to release your hands to the floor. Inhale to half lift. And then as you exhale, you're going to plant your hands and step it on back to downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, just bend your knees and straighten the other. Noticing the difference in the backs of the legs. So I said that just by releasing the feet, we can actually release tension in the calves, the hamstrings, up the spine. Tension all the way up that line can be affected just through our feet, friends. Pretty powerful stuff. And then I'm going to have you lower down to hands and knees. Tuck all 10 toes into your mat. Now you can keep your hands onto the floor, or you can bring your hands up onto 2 blocks, or you can bring your hands up onto your thighs, or you can come all the way up to sit onto your heels. Broken toe pose. Now see if you can kind of tuck that pinky toe underneath you a little bit. And breathe. Nice deep breaths. Getting a nice opening, a deep release through all those fascial lines in the feet, all those meridians in the feet. Take a deep breath in and an exhale out. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next inhale, shift forward. Take a moment here just to tap out those toes. And then as you exhale, lift your hips, come back into downward facing dog. And I want you to take a moment just to notice if that feels any different for you. Breathe in and breathe out. So coming back to the top of the mat, take a full breath in. Exhale it out. And then on your inhale, you're going to reach your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly fold, come into the earth. Take an inhale to half lift. And then as you exhale, you're going to plant your hands and step back, come into downward facing dog. Take a moment here just to shake it out and breathe. Take your right leg and reach it up. And as you exhale, step your right leg forward. Press your right foot into the floor, and as you inhale, you're going to reach up, come into high lunge. Pause here and just start to take little pulsations, reaching up and down. And then you're going to plant your hands to the floor, straighten through your front leg. Now, if you need your 2 blocks, go ahead and grab them. Get a nice lengthening through the back of the right leg. As you inhale, shift forward, lift your chest, lift your head. And as you exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Pause and plank for a moment here. Spread your fingers and push the floor away. Now draw your arm bones into the socket. Lengthen through your tailbone. Shake out your head if you feel any tension up there. Now shift your weight forward. Option here to lower your knees to the floor. Keep your legs firm and straight. As you exhale, lower halfway for chaturanga. Knees to the floor, lower all the way to your belly. Nice, easy back bend here. Inhale, lift up to cobra. Pubic bone stays pressing down into the earth. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes as you inhale, press up to plank. Exhalation brings you into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then as you inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Press into that left footprint. And as you inhale, come all the way up to stand. Pause here, and then just start to take little pulsations in the pelvis, kind of waking up that hip flexor psoas muscle. Draw your belly in. Feel that support. And then you're going to plant your hands, slowly step it back, come into plank. Option to lower down to your knees, firm up in plank, push the floor away, hug the arm bones into the socket. Now, shift your weight forward, lower yourself halfway, release all the way to the earth, inhale, cobra. Maybe you want to press those feet into the floor and firm up into upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Breathe in
Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you inhale, look forward, bend your knees, and step on up to the top of the mat. Inhale to half lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, reach up and rise. Arms above the head. Exhale brings you back to center. Take a breath here. Come back to that footprint and notice the way the feet are grounding into the earth. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. And as you exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg and reach it up. Exhale, step your right leg forward. Press into your right foot and inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, you're going to lean your arms forward and lean forward, hands to the hips. Press into that right foot. Get nice and strong through the legs. Shake out any tension in the head or the neck. Inhale, reach back up. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly come on up to stand. Bend your left knee. Drop into that standing leg and hug the hip bone into the socket. Take a full breath here. As you exhale, you're going to step that foot back. Come all the way up into high lunge. Exhale, plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog. Option to move through a vinyasa or skip it. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling to lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and out. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step the left leg forward. Power down through your feet and inhale, come all the way up to high lunge. Stay here and breathe. Exhale, come halfway forward. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, lean forward. Now you're going to come all the way up to stand onto that left foot. Bend your right knee. Pause here. Slowly start to send it back. Extend the leg. Let that foot land and inhale, reach back up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, downward facing dog. Option to move through a flow or feel free to skip it. Inhaling to plank. Shift your weight forward, lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog cobra. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to add on to our flow here. Stay with your breath. Don't let your breath become hasty or let it get ahead of you. Slow down to honor your body today. As you inhale, look forward, bend your knees, hop or step, top of the mat. Inhale to half lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold back in. And press your feet into the floor. Inhale, reach up and rise, arms above the head. Exhale brings you back to center. Take a breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Adding on, inhale, reach the arms above the head. And then as you exhale, you're going to forward fold into the earth. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back. Come into down dog. Inhale, the right leg rises. Exhale, right leg steps forward, low lunge. Fire in to that right foot to get you all the way up into high lunge. Pause there and breathe. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, lean forward into that front leg. Inhale to reach back up. Exhale, lean forward. Really press into that right foot to get you all the way up to stand. Bend your left knee. Reach your arms up. Now, a little option here. With that knee bent, you're going to take your right hand over to your right thigh. Maybe you stay here on that right hamstring, or maybe you extend your leg, grab a hold of your foot, get a little stretch through the hamstring. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to take your left arm behind you. Now honor where you're at today. Maybe your hand's just on the thigh, rotating through that thoracic spine, belly draws in, pelvis stays neutral. Ground down into your standing leg. And then you're gonna slowly, slowly, slowly start to come forward, extend your leg. And then you're gonna start to slowly lean forward, take that left leg back. And then you're gonna slowly, slowly, slowly take your hands to the floor. Keep your left leg lifted. Keep your pelvis neutral. So both frontal hip bones pointing towards the floor. Take your right arm, make a fist. Make a fist with your right hand. Draw your belly in and then start to make your fist. By bending your elbow, you're gonna start to draw your shoulder, your right shoulder blade towards your spine. And then as you inhale, you're gonna lift that right arm up. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, you're gonna rotate your torso to the right. Keep your right hip drawing back. Squeeze those outer hips, press through your feet. Challenging pose, yes, but can you stay mindful in your breath? Tap that back foot down to the floor at any time. Tap both hands to the floor at any time. Look down. Plant your hands, nice big step back, foot touches down, and then as you inhale, you're gonna press into that foot, get you back up to a high lunge. So feeling the glute, and then you're gonna lean forward, and then inhale, reach back up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, come into downward facing dog or plank pose. Option to move through a flow of vinyasa here. So as you inhale, shift forward into plank. Push the floor away. Hug the arm bones into the socket. Now shift your weight forward, lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Second side. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Low lunge. Prepare here. So press into that left foot, and as you inhale, come all the way up. Pause here. Breathe. Exhale, lean into that front leg. Stay grounded into your feet. Inhale, reach back up. Transition here. Exhale, lean forward into your front leg. Come all the way up to stand. Bend that right knee. Now you're grounding down through your left foot. Feeling that footprint, feeling all that energy coming from the earth, coming from your foot. Belly in, heart lifts. Option to take your left hand over to your right thigh. Take your right arm, reach it up. Exhale, open. Now if it's accessible, maybe you grab your foot and extend, coming into a bit of a hamstring stretch. Keep drawing the hips in. Keep grounding into your left foot. Keep your spine nice and tall so you're not hunching over. You're keeping your spine nice and tall, feeling that length. Stay with your breath. Look forward. Slowly start to come forward. Extend your leg. Keep your arms up. Keep your leg up. And then you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly. The slower you go, the more you can challenge the strength here. Slowly. Step it back. Come into high lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly bring your hands all the way to the ground. Right hand to the floor, left hand makes a fist. Right foot reaching out, almost like an arrow. Keep your fist. And then you're going to bend your elbow, draw your shoulder towards your spine, and then rotate through the torso here. Get that nice rotation through the thoracic spine. Keep reaching through your feet. Keep hugging the hips in. Keep lengthening through the torso and the crown of the head. Soften your jaw. And then you're going to plant your hands.
Slowly, nice and slow, 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 slow. Step it back, high lunge, press into that foot, reach up. Exhale, plant your hands and step back. Come into downward facing dog. Option to move through a vinyasa or feel free to skip it. Push the floor away. Shift the weight forward, lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just take a moment here, settling back into the rhythm of breath. One more standing sequence for you. Inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, step the right leg forward. Now from here, you're gonna open to a wide-legged forward fold. So pivot your feet towards the center of your mat. And just take a look at your feet. Outer edges of the feet are kind of in line or parallel to the outer edges of your mat, those short edges. Now as you inhale, half lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, you're gonna fold into the earth. And just pause there. Shake out your head. Take a couple nice deep breaths. One more time, inhale to half lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Arms reach high above the head. And then as you exhale, you come back to center. Good. Hands onto the hips. Take your left foot and point it towards the side of your mat. Bend your knee. Come right into that warrior or side angle pose. So right into side angle. Option to bring the hand to the floor or option to hover. Maybe challenge your core a little bit more. You decide. Your practice today. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale to reverse and straighten that front leg. Lean forward. Get nice and long to the torso and then come down into triangle pose. And then just pause in triangle pose. Take your top arm, reach it up. Lean your torso towards the ceiling. Stay grounded into your feet. Option for Ardha Chandrasana, or just stay here and enjoy the experience in Trikonasana. I'll cue you through it. You're going to bend your front knee. I like to bring my top hand onto my hip. Bend your front knee. Bring your left hand to the floor onto a block, and then start to lift that right leg up. Maybe start to rotate. Maybe take the hand. Maybe this is where you stay. Or maybe you want to find Ardha Chapasana by grabbing the top of the foot. Draw the shoulder back. Options, not requirements. Slowly, if you have your foot, extend. Steady, steady, steady. And then we're all going to start to bend that front knee. Land that right foot onto the ground. Inhale back to reverse. Exhale, side angle. Flow through to the center. Take your hands up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Press your feet into the floor, and as you inhale, come all the way up. Take your right foot, point it to the back of the mat. Bend your right knee. Exhale, come right into side angle pose. Option to hover. Option to come all the way to the floor, or elbow onto the thigh. You decide. Stay grounded into your feet. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale to reverse. Now straighten that front leg. Start to lean your torso forward. Keep getting length through the side of the body. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. And then you're going to slowly start to bring that hand down to a floor, the block, your shin. Now rotate the torso, lean your chest towards the ceiling. Ground down into both of your feet. Maybe your top arm reaches up.
And just enjoy the experience here. Breathe. And then you're going to slowly look forward. You're going to bend your front knee. Place your hand into the floor. Now push that right foot away from the floor to get your left leg to lift up. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Rotate the torso. And maybe you want to stay here. Or maybe you want to grab that foot, coming into a little bit more of a chest, shoulder opener, a little bit of a thigh stretch even, if it's accessible. Notice if you lost your breath. If you did, soften your jaw. Come back to breathing. Nice and easy. You're going to slowly start to extend your leg. Press into your front foot to get you back. Reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, up to 5-pointed star. Exhale, fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Breathe here. Shake out your head. And either stay here in this inversion. If you want to maybe come into some variation that feels better for your body, you're welcome to do so. Maybe take a clasp behind the back. Release your hands to the floor. Find your way back to this position. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Now you're just going to pivot to the top of your mat. Left side low lunge, back heel lifts. And then you're going to plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. And then from down dog, we'll move through one last vinyasa. So inhale, shift forward into plank. Pause here. Push the floor away. Draw the arm bones into the socket. Now shift your weight forward. Lower halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog cobra. Exhale. Brings you to downward facing dog. And just breathe. Lower down to your knees. Take your knees nice and wide and sit back into a child's pose. And just take a moment here, settling back into breath. And then you're going to slowly start to walk your hands back and come all the way to sit on your heels. And just take a moment here, find your breath. We're going to come into a couple of rounds of prone back bend. So slowly make your way onto your belly. Bring your hands beside you. Draw your shoulders towards your spine. Press the pubic bone down and lengthen and broaden through your low back. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift your legs, lift your chest off the floor. But keep looking at the bridge of your nose. Stay here. And breathe. Shalabhasana. Get this whole nice lengthening through the front of the body, but a strengthening through the back of the legs, the back of the body, the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. Maybe you want to reach your arms in front of you. If you feel too much compression in the low back, bring your hands beside you again. Stay here a few more breaths. Maybe you want to start swimming the legs and the feet. And then you're going to bring your hands towards your shoulders. Lower your chest, lower your head. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to lower, rest your head to one side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Option to grab the tops of the feet or just come back into Shalabhasana or Cobra. If you have your feet, start to press pubic bone down. Start to press your feet into your hands. Lift your legs off the floor. Now, take your shoulders, draw them back. Lift your chest off the floor. Bow pose. Nice breath here. Hug the knees into the midline. Don't let them splay out wide. You're going to lose your core. And then exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Inhale, press up to plank or all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then just take a moment here, releasing through the legs, through the feet, grounding into your handprint. Inhale, shift forward and lower yourself down onto a seat. Baddha Konasana, grab something to sit on. Sitting on the edge of a blanket, bring the soles of your feet to touch. Keep your spine nice and tall. Hands beside you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine out of the pelvis. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly start to fold forward and then pause here. Drop your sit bones down. And get a nice little stretch into those hips. Stay with your breath here. And then as you inhale, you're going to start to walk your hands back up. Take your right leg and extend it straight. Keep your left knee bent. And if this knee is way off the ground, grab something to maybe tuck under it, like a blanket or scarf, or maybe even a block. Right hand beside you. Inhale, lift and lengthen through your left arm. Get nice and tall through your spine again. Rotate your torso towards your straight leg. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly start to fold forward. And then just pause there. Drop back into your breath. So bend that front knee as much as you need to feel that support. Maybe even tuck something underneath your right knee if you need. And then just take some breaths. See if you can find a little bit of pulsation. So as you inhale, you're lengthening back out. And as you exhale, you're folding back in. Inhaling, you're lengthening out. Full breath here. Nice, easy breath as you exhale back in. Stay with it. One more time, flow out. Exhale, drop back in and be still. And then on your next inhale, you're going to shift back up. Switch legs. So bend your right knee now. Extend your left leg. Pause here, ground down into your pelvis. Inhale, take your right arm and reach it up, get nice and tall. As you exhale, you're rotating towards your straight leg. And then take another full breath. And then as you exhale, fold towards your straight leg. And then use that left hand for support, for balance. pause, settle into your breath, and notice if you went too far. You probably can't breathe right now, so back out. And then you're just going to slowly start to flow in and out. So as you inhale, you're going to lift up and lengthen out. Exhale, you're going to drop back in. And this is really just going to help kind of soothe the nervous system, but also give your body a little bit more spaciousness as we're working with the breath. And working with the breath encourages a little bit more relaxation through the tissues. So we can tell the tissues it's okay to soften. It's okay to release. One more time, pulsating in and back out. And then you're going to pause and be still. Nice deep breath here. Notice if you feel a sensation in a different area of the body even. And then as you inhale, you're going to slowly come back up. Bring your hands behind you, bend your knees, and just kind of give your knees a little shake out here. When you're ready, you're going to make your way onto your backs. Have a block accessible, and if you don't have a block, you can also just use like a rolled up blanket or a scarf or a towel. You're going to slowly come onto your back. Grab your block, and you want your block, for some of you, you've done this with me before, you want your block to be on the medium height, and you're just at the base of your skull, so your neck is totally free. So once again, I'm just at the base of my skull. If you peek up here, my neck is totally free, and that block is flat on the earth. We're just going to take a moment here just to kind of massage from left to right. So I just want you to nice and slow just start to massage by taking your head left to right. So you're massaging that space right at the base of the skull. All these occipital muscles that hold your head up all day long tend to hold a lot of tension. I just want you to take this time now just to really nourish these tissues. Don't be forceful. Nice and soft. And just taking some deep breaths here. Soften your jaw. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Just enjoying this little bit of self-myofascial release. Rocking from side to side. And then you're going to come back to center. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. And then you're going to lift your head, remove your block, and replace that with a blanket or a towel or something just to give you a little bit of cushion here. And our last final position is a supine twist. So draw your knees into your chest and knock your knees over to the right. Find any variation that feels best in your body today. And then settle into your breath. And then on your next inhale, you're going to come back to center. Pause and center. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. And then you're going to draw your knees back into your chest and make your way over to your second side. And just finding a position that feels good for your body as you open into your twist. Nice, slow breath. Nice, easy breath.
Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. And then you're just going to slowly shift yourself back to center. Feet into the floor and just take a moment just kind of washing the knees from side to side. Just getting a little gentle hydration into the body. And then as you feel ready, you're going to extend your legs and come into Shavasana. And just let your body land. Give your body now just permission to take these moments to rest, to reset, and to replenish your body. Let the whole body land onto the ground. You're going to slowly start to deepen your breath. You're going to slowly start to bring a little energy into your fingers and into your toes. Start to take little circles with your wrists and with your ankles. And as you feel ready, gently give yourself a awakening stretch here, reaching the arms overhead. Draw your knees into your chest. Slowly make your way over to your side. Use your hands to support you and press up to a seat. Land on something comfortable to sit on. Take a moment here just to arrive back into the rhythm of your breath. Bring your hands to your heart space, honoring this time that you created today for yourself. In honor of each and every one of you, we'll close with the sound and with the vibration of Om. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale for Om. It is an honor to share these practices with you today. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Sorry about the technical difficulties.